Welcome to Big Ten Women's Soccer in 10, a 10-minute look with every coach of all 14 Big Ten women's soccer teams and one distinguished alumni. I'm Dean Linke, along with Illinois All-Big Tenner Jackie Manny, and we're delighted to be talking Purdue women's soccer today with their great head coach, Drew Roff, and their all-time leading scorer, Maddy Williams. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Dean. Hi, Jackie. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're great. Great to be with you and Maddie. And let's get rolling, Drew. I met you when you were at Illinois State. You impressed me then. I loved your ties to Michigan State. I knew you wanted to get back to the Big Ten. You've been there several years now. How much are you enjoying being at Purdue and being in the Big Ten?
Well, I love being at Purdue. As you know, I went to Michigan State, and I actually grew up in Ann Arbor. So just growing up around the Big Ten, you just have a great appreciation for it. And certainly a bit of a dream come true to be part of it. And, Purdue is just such a great university, and, we feel like we're building something really special here. So, despite all the challenges, that we all have in the world today, it's a great place to be. And, we're real happy with what the future holds. We're excited about it.
Coach, you were crazy successful at Illinois State. What were some of the things that made you want to make that jump to Purdue?
Well, I think it's just the great resources and just, competing at the highest level. As I said, the Big Ten, I've always just had such a great respect for the institutions. It's pretty awesome to coach in a conference where, we certainly don't negatively recruit against anyone. It's just not our style. But at the end of the day, I tell recruits, anywhere you go in the Big Ten, you can't go wrong. And I truly believe that. And it's pretty special to be part of a conference like that. So it was just a challenge that, was ready for. And like I said, just to be part of a university and a tradition that is unparalleled was something that, I was seeking out. So it's been a great challenge.
Maddie, I'm going to make you laugh. For 10 years, I was a paper boy for the Toledo Blade. They covered you in your high school career when you won a state championship. They covered you when you were done. They covered the injury as well. Coming from Northwest Ohio, how did you find Purdue, and what was so special about Purdue?
Well, I think playing, like you said, in Northwest Ohio, it was a big jump. I remember when I first got to Purdue, I was obviously very talented to begin with, and I had played every game, basically growing up in Perrysburg and with my club. But once you get to college soccer in general, but especially a Big Ten university, you don't really always know what you're getting into, and you're kind of playing on a team now where everyone was the best where they came from. So that jump was a little difficult for me. I mean, I played a bunch my freshman year, but I don't think I really reached my potential until the end of my career at Purdue, to be honest. So yeah, it was an adjustment for sure. But I mean, I don't think I would change anything.
Maddie, you are no stranger to rehabbing injuries and making big comebacks. What are some of the things mentally and physically that have gotten you through some of those injuries?
Right. I've been injured when I was younger, but nothing that serious until I tore my ACL at Purdue. And I think just having a great support system around me while I was at Purdue, and like Drew kind of touched on, was the resources that were given. My athletic trainer at the time, Gina Morelli, she was basically my second mom, and I don't think I would have gotten back without her. And I had an awesome teammate that was going through the same type of thing as me at the same time. And my team really I think they knew that they needed me and wanted me back. And so they helped push me during my time off. And then part of, like you said, just staying strong mentally. And, I knew I wasn't done yet. And I was super upset, and obviously it was devastating when I tore my ACL for everyone. But like I said, having that support system and that believed in me and pushed me during my time off, I think that made me want to come back even more and even stronger. And that's exactly what happened.
Coach, watching Maddie overcome that ACL and then going on to do such great things and breaking all those records, what do you remember about that? And perhaps how do you apply it to players that get injured now? Because injuries are always going to be part of the game.
I think Maddie serves as an outstanding role model for anybody who's been through that. Unfortunately, injuries are, the one really negative part of our game that occur, and it happens, all too frequently. But any player that was in the program that saw Maddie, any player in the future in our program will hear about Maddie and get a chance to meet Maddie. And she serves as someone who took you always hope through difficult times people find some silver linings. And I think, Maddie took that opportunity to get away from the game, work incredibly hard, realize how much she loved the game. She watched the game to learn, and she came back with a vengeance. And she did come back as a more mature person and a more mature player. And she truly came back better and stronger. So I think she's just a fantastic example of how you can take a really difficult time in your life and turn it into a positive. And when she came back, she was on a mission to be great. And she went from a really, really good player to a great player with that injury. And it's a great, testament to just her work rate and her commitment. And, what her and the rest of that 17 senior class did for our program was tremendous. They really got us back to the postseason, and they got that winning mindset back to the program. So Maddie was that driving force that, I'll continue to tell my players about until I'm done coaching.
Maddie, everybody likes watching people chase records, break records, but not everybody gets to be that person. You did it while becoming the Big Ten Forward of the Year. Do you remember it? Was it a big deal as you were chasing down and becoming the all-time leading scorer at Purdue?
Yeah, I mean, of course it was a big deal. I think the second I stepped foot on campus at Purdue, that was my goal. Before I had even scored goal number 1, that was what I wanted to do. I was a goal scorer my whole life, so that was obviously the goal. But, the first record that I broke at Purdue was the assist record. So that's something that I think as time went on, I realized that there was more than I was capable of than just scoring goals. Of course, I remember it. I mean, I have a bunch of, the record balls in my house and stuff like that. So, of course, I remember it. I think the reason it was so special was because it really came down to crunch time, and I didn't break the goals record until the very end of my 5th year. And those goals were very needed for our team to get into the postseason. So I think that made it more special for me. For me personally, was that, those goals really meant something. And actually, I think, if I remember correctly, the goal that I scored to break the record was away at Penn State, which was not really supposed to happen. So that was definitely memorable.
Coach, kind of circling back to the current team, you've had a pretty young lineup the past couple years. Now that they have some experience under their belt, how has this group developed, and what are some of the characteristics of this team right now?
Yeah, well, I'm really excited about the group that we have because, as you mentioned, we played a lot of players early in their careers to get experience. And certainly there's going to be some growing pains when you go that route, but you just hope that it pays off in the future. And we're really starting to see some of that take effect because just in this short amount of time that we've had to train, the level has been, just as high as it's ever been. So I feel like this group is a nice blend. There's some youthful energy. There's some seasoned players. Even some players going into year 3, they've started every game for us. So we'll have, for the first time in a long time, we'll have a group of juniors and seniors that are starting for us. And I think that's going to pay off. We feel that last year, just, finding our way there towards the end and, getting the result and having to kind of grind and defend and really work for that. That was kind of how we had to play at the moment to get the result we needed. But we feel like with the experience we have and the talent we have, we can definitely play a little bit more on the front foot and definitely, take it to teams a little bit better and play the style that, we've kind of been preparing for years. So I think this upcoming season, we're going to showcase, just the best brand of soccer that we've been able to play. And I'm very excited about what the future holds for this group.
Maddie, just talk a little bit about where you're at now and what's next for you.
So I played my first professional season after Purdue in the Netherlands. And I finished up my second professional season in Spain in February. It ended a little short for me personally because of a hamstring injury. So I came home and had surgery about 6 months ago. So I'm still in the rehab process with that. And obviously with everything going on with COVID, that's all up in the air. But the plan is to get back and hopefully get into the league here starting in February.
To wrap it up, Maddie, when you hear the words Purdue Boilermakers in one sentence, what's it mean to you?
Well, that's pretty hard to put in one sentence. But when I think of a Boilermaker, I think of hard work, grit, dedication, which is exactly what I told the assistant Snoop the other week, that if anyone can get through this mess going on right now, it's a Boilermaker.
Love it. It's Purdue women's soccer, Big Ten women's soccer in 10 with Drew Roff and Maddy Williams. Thanks so much.